Okay, hello everyone. How are you today? So I'm hoping that you are okay even we have this pandemic times. And I am your instructor. I am Miss Angelica Faye. I will be teaching Understanding the Self, which is Jack 1. Okay. So our chapter 1 is all about the vision, mission, and goals of ISU. Okay. And as you can see, the vision and mission of ISU, I hope before you enter in this university, you have already read about the vision and mission because it is very impossible to enter in a university without knowing first the vision and mission of ISU. Anyway, I would like to congratulate you for choosing ISU as your university. Expected that my audio is not is not that perfect. So, I would suggest, guys, better use headphones para mas clear yung audio natin, mas marinig nyo ng mabuti. Anyway, I chose to record the lesson para mas convenient and mabalikan nyo anytime you want. For me, the face doesn't matter. Okay? What matter is the lesson, the voice, and of course, the module. Kaya sunod lang kayo sa sinasabi ko since you have the module. So the chapter 1 is all about the vision, mission, and goals of ISU. So let's move on. We're gonna talk about the chapter 2. Okay? The self from various perspective. So for the whole SEM, guys, we will gonna talk about, of course, the self because it is understanding the self. So we have different perspectives since the chapter 2 is from various perspective. Okay? We have the philosophical perspective, the sociological perspective, anthropological perspective, we have the psychological perspective, various perspective. We have many perspective under prelims, and it is our main topic for this time. So now, we will gonna talk about first about this philosophical perspective. Okay, philosophical perspective, this is the study of nature of knowledge, the reality that we have, even the existence we are experiencing today. And of course, it is considered as academic discipline. Kaya nga may kurso na BS Philosophy, ganyan. So, academic discipline siya. Okay. So, I'm gonna introduce to you some philosophers today. Of course, that is well known when it comes to the self, since it is all about understanding the self. So, number 1 is Socrates. Okay. Socrates was a Greek philosopher and one of the very few individuals who shaped Western thought. Okay, so Socrates is from Greece and of course it is Western, under Western country. Okay, according to him, he is well known when it comes to his method. This is called Socratic method. What is this Socratic method kaya? Socratic method whereby an idea was tested by asking a series of questions to determine underlying beliefs and the extent of knowledge to guide the person toward better understanding. Meaning, when we say Socratic method, in order for you to test an idea, you should ask a series of questions. Sa Tagalog, huwag mahihiyang magtanong. Okay? Meaning, like for example, okay, I will set an example. Like for example, you can't understand your math subject. Okay? Therefore, you will ask your instructor or your professor about the formula in order for you to understand even more. So that is an example of Socratic method. Okay? And here are some Socrates idea. Okay, according to him, the soul is immortal, the care of the soul is the task of philosophy, virtue is necessary in order for us to become happy. Okay? And he is well known of one of his most quoted phrases, which is, the unexamined life is not worth living. Okay? Meaning to say, we should live the life that we have. Okay? We should go to learn every day, even in simple things. Okay, so that's it. For me, that is the meaning of the unexamined life is not worth living. Now, try to ponder. Ano naman ang meaning nito sa iyo? Okay. Here are the idea of Socrates. According to Socrates, the self-knowledge or the examination of oneself as well as the question about how one ought to live one's life are very important concerns. Because according to him, by knowing yourself, it can give us hope. Okay. So meaning to say, we should have self-knowledge, examination of oneself. You are evaluating yourself. Like for example, what are the strengths that you have, even the weaknesses, of course, that you have in order for you to improve your life. Diba? Pag alam natin yung weaknesses natin, alam natin kung ano yung i-improve natin. So that's it. Okay. And of course, Socrates said that we have these two kinds of existence. We have the visible existence wherein it is capable of changing, while the other one is the invisible, wherein it remain constant. Ano naman kaya ito? Okay. According to him, every man is composed of body and soul. Therefore, we are called to be dualistic. Okay. And according to Socrates, the virtuous man is a happy man because Socrates believed that the goal of life is to be happy. Okay, I will ask you, who among you guys do not want to be happy? Who among you wants to feel miserable every day? Because of course, it is contradicted to Socrates' idea because his idea is we should become happy in this life. And the virtuous man is a happy man. That's the secret. So, what is this virtue na sinasabi? So, in order for you to attain virtuous life, you should have courage, temperance, prudence, and justice. Anything na mabuti, it's under the virtue. Okay. So, that is Socrates. Number 2, we have Plato. Okay, actually, 10 itong mga philosopher na to eh. And nasa number 2 pa lang tayo. Okay, this is Plato. According to Plato, good actions give strength to ourselves and inspires good actions in others. Meaning to say, we should be careful, for the examples that we are doing because someone is observing us, Pwedeng we can inspire other people through our actions. And at the same time, we can inspire ourselves by the good actions that we are making. Okay, according to him, we have this theory of forms. He asserted that this physical world is not really the real world, according to Plato, because the ultimate reality exists beyond the physical world. So, since we all know we can find perfection in this world, like for example, no perfect size, angles, even the shape of Earth is not purely round, diba? Not perfect. Even us, human being, we are not perfect. Therefore, the perfection is not existing here. Okay, so Plato is perhaps the single most important influence when it comes to Western concept of the self. According to him, our soul is indeed one of the most divine aspects that we have as a human being. However, his concept of the divine is not a spiritual. Okay. Yung soul natin, according to him, hindi siya kaluluwa. But, according to him, it is our intellectual connotation, being rational, being logical. Okay. Plato emphasizes that justice in the human person can only be attained if these three parts working harmoniously one with another. And what are these three parts na sinasabi naman nitong si Plato? Okay, number one, this is the part of the soul, guys. Okay, number one, we have the rational or the reasoning. Okay, this element is forbidding the person to enjoy the sensual experiences since logical nga eh. Okay, this part of us is the one that loves truth, hence should rule over the other parts of the soul through the use of reason. Since we have brain, we all know that we have the capability to think, to decide, to reason out. Nakakaintindi tayo because we have brain. And number two, we have the spirited or the feeling. So it is more in charge on our emotion. The element that is inclined toward reason but understand the demands of passion. This one is the part of us that we love the honor and the victory. Okay. Number three, if we have the rational, we have the spirited, we have the appetitive or the sensual. So, this is all about naman, it is more in charge naman of our basic desire. Like for example, the physiological needs that we need. Like for example, eating, of course, drinking, sleeping, having sexual intercourse, but it is also controlled as well. Okay. And according to Socrates, in order for us to become happy, in order for us to achieve justice, these parts of the soul should work harmoniously. Ibig sabihin, balance siya. Hindi lagi, gamit puro isip-isip. Not every time ang gamit is the feelings or emotions. Okay? And of course, hindi rin pwede na puro sensual or puro desires naman ang meron sa tao. Dapat it should be balanced in order for us to attain justice. Okay. And next, okay, we have this Saint Augustine. He is of course, a philosopher since we are under the philosophical perspective pa lang. And his written works are among the foundations of the medieval and the modern Christian thought. Of course, he is one of the Latin fathers of the church, one of the doctors of the church, and one of the most significant Christian thinker. So this is the idea of Saint Augustine naman. According to him, there is an aspect of man which dwells in the world that is imperfect and continuously yearns to be with the divine, while the other is capable of reaching immortality. Okay, he also believed that the body is bound to die here on earth. That's why this is the aspect wherein it is imperfect and impermanent, our body. Because we all know we are not exempted in sicknesses, even in death, diba? Lahat tayo mamamatay. Therefore, we are imperfect. Therefore, we are impermanent. Okay? And you also believe that the body is bound to die here on earth. But this is the idea of him. The soul is to anticipate living eternally in realm of spiritual bliss in communion with God. Meaning, if our body is not perfect, therefore our soul is perfect according to him. And we have the capability to reaching immortality kasama yung Diyos. And that is his idea. Okay. According to Saint Augustine, spiritual communion with God is our goal in this life. And in order for us to attain this eternal life with God, we should live virtuously here on earth. Almost the same, di ba? kay Socrates, in order for us to become happy, we should live virtuously here on earth, sabi ni Socrates. And this Saint Augustine naman, in order for us to um, to be with God someday, we should live virtuously here on earth. Okay, Saint Augustine emphasized that the soul held the truth and we are capable of scientific thinking. Therefore, Saint Augustine's concept of the self was immaterial, which we contain knowledge and self-awareness. Because yun nga, we are capable of scientific thinking. Okay, so he believed that human being was both a soul and a body. And the body possessed senses such as imagination, memory, reason, and the mind, which the soul experiences the world. And of course, one of his quotation naman, according to him, if we neglect to use our minds, we will lose to reach the real and lasting happiness. Meaning to say, always, always use our mind. In whatever we are doing, dapat ginagamit din ang isip, not only the emotion, not only for the desires, but also being logical, being rational. Okay. Next, we have René Descartes. Who is René Descartes? He is a French philosopher. He is a mathematician and scientist. He is considered as the father of modern Western philosophy. Okay, this is the idea of René Descartes naman, another philosopher. We have this hyperbolical or metaphysical doubt. It is a systematic process of being skeptical. What is being skeptical? Sometimes you need to doubt in order for us to obtain what is the truth. Okay, so kailangan din nating magduda para alam natin kung ano yung katotohanan. And that is the hyperbolical or metaphysical doubt according to René Descartes. According to him, thinking is immaterial substance and thinking entity could exist without the body. Okay, so immaterial substance, which is, yes, the self, imperfect kasi uh, yung ating body, but we cannot deny the fact that our soul and our body is united one with another, So, the self form a union with its body, and despite the union of the body and the soul, still Descartes reasoned out that these two is distinct from each other. Okay, even though magkasama, sabi ko nga kanina, united with each other itong ating body and soul, meron pa rin silang distinction, meron pa rin silang differences, guys. And makikita ninyo sa module the difference between the soul and the body. Okay, the soul, it is conscious, thinking substance that is unaffected by time. It is known only to itself, meaning you only know your own mental events. And of course, hindi naman makorek ng ibang tao kung ano yung iniisip natin. Basta iisipin na lang natin yun eh. So that is the soul. It is not made up of parts unlike our bodies. Okay? On the other hand, we have the body. According to René Descartes, it is a material substance that changes through time. Yes, we are capable of aging. Tumatanda tayo. We will gonna die soon. So, yes, it is imperfect and impermanent, our body. It can be doubted. The public can correct claims about the body. Diba? Even though other people hindi iniisip na mataba siya, kapag claim ng ibang tao that you are chubby or you are beautiful, diba naniniwala yung isang tao? So, that's it. It can be like judged by other people, most especially the public. And lastly, it is made up of physical, quantifiable, and divisible parts. We all know, diba, we have different systems in our body, and of course, the functions. So that is the body, the difference between the body and the soul. Okay, so that is our lecture 1. I'm hoping na natuto kayo kahit konti lang. And please, magbasa ng magbasa. Do not waste your time. And be productive even though this pandemic. Okay, guys? So, I will end up muna yung ating lesson. Okay. Bye.